Barakim Habarim, welcome to Messianic Moment Ministries. I'm Stephen Bruck. You know who you are. Today's the 28th day of March 2024. Now, one of the most important things to know when interpreting the Bible is the rule of circles of context. One should never take a single verse or passage out of the book and make an argument or interpretation based solely on those few words. And incorporated into that rule is the idea that some things stated are literal and others are not. But without looking at a verse within the context of the entire statement or section, you really can't be sure which way to go sometimes. All right, let's do the administrative stuff. You all know this. Don't forget to subscribe, please, on my website. Subscribe button in the right-hand margin here on YouTube. One of these icons in here does it for you. You got to click on notifications also and ring the bell so that you know when I post something. I usually post twice a week. I also have a Facebook discussion group. It's called Just God's Word, and I invite you to join. But please click that you agree to the rules or you can't come in. I also want to ensure you that if you like what you get here, you will like the books I've written. I've got 4 of them, and there's a 5th one in the works right now. And they're available through links on the website, or go to Amazon. Put my name, Stephen R. Bruck, in the search thing there, and you'll see them. And finally, please, this is probably the most important thing of all, please share these messages with everyone you know, whether they're a believer or not, it don't matter. Spread the seed and help this ministry continue to grow. All right, enough with the admin stuff. Now, as I was saying about circles of context and stuff, you don't always know if something's literal or not. For instance, when we read about Ezra reading the Torah to everyone in Israel, we know really that not every single person in Israel was there in Jerusalem. Clearly this was a statement to be taken metaphorically. On the other hand, when we read about how God parted the Red Sea, well, that's something we know to be literally true. All right, otherwise how could they get through, right? Duh. There are dozens of examples throughout the Bible where we read words that indicate much more than they really are meant to, and we need to use discernment and always contextual confirmation that what we think is to be taken literally really should be. Way too often I read what people say and think they can't really mean that, can they? Because they are quoting from the Bible but taking things totally out of context and or twisting the meanings to fit their desired interpretation. Look, there are 2 rules we must always follow when reading from the Bible: circles of context and hermeneutics. Now, circles of context, as I explained briefly earlier, means looking at a verse or passage within the context of the paragraph, within the context of the letter, within the context of the book, and consider who is writing this and to whom. You got to figure all that in. And hermeneutics is, well, simply stated, making sure that whatever we read in one part of the Bible is in accordance with what we read in another part of the Bible. Again, for example, let's say, we read that Moses left Egypt because his murder was known, but, let's say someone interprets something elsewhere in the Bible to indicate that Moses left for a different reason. Well, we would have to reconsider both statements because they seem to conflict. Only one can be true, which is why it is so important to know the Bible inside and out, so that when you read something that conflicts with what you know to be true, you will be, forced to investigate and determine for yourself which is correct. So, the main lesson today, which I haven't even stated yet, is to know the Bible. That's really the main lesson. Don't just read it, but study it so that you can be prepared to verify what is truth and what is misinterpretation when you talk with people. That includes what's literal and what's metaphoric. And let me leave you with this great example of why we need to know the Bible. In the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 4 starts with Hasatan tempting Yeshua, and for each biblical reference Satan uses to fool Yeshua into doing as he says, Yeshua knows how to refute Satan by reciting from the Torah to show Satan's misuse of the passages. All right, well, that's it for this week. So, I want to say Lihitrot and wish you an early Shabbat Shalom.